Hello there. Thanks for stopping by Max's Cards and Dice Dugout. Robert Max here. This is episode 135, and we are at Cleveland Municipal Stadium again. This is game number 44 of the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Oldtimer Kings King of the Hill tournament, which has the current kings, the 1954 Cleveland Indians, playing host to the 1950 New York Yankees. Before we get to the starting lineup, let's take a look at the status of the hill. Well, if the Indians can win another one, that'll give them 10, and they will become the first team to reach the Gaedel Cup Finals, and they will be the team with the home advantage in a 2-3-2 rotation finals series. The Yankees would like to prevent that. If the Indians would win this game, the Yankees would still tumble to the bottom, and that would make the 57 Braves the new king, or the new kings of the hill by default, and they would play the 62 Giants. But we got to get through this one first, so let's get to the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Yankees, the 1950 Yankees. Leading off in left field is Gene Woodling. Batting second, Phil Rizzuto. At shortstop, batting third, catcher Yogi Berra. Batting fourth, center fielder Joe DiMaggio. Batting fifth, first baseman Johnny Mize. Batting sixth, Billy Johnson. He's at third. Batting seventh, Hank Bauer. He's in right field. Bauer's back in the lineup after a short injury where he missed a few games. Batting eighth is second baseman Jerry Coleman. And on the mound, batting ninth, is pitcher Ed Lopat. In 1950, he was 18-8 with a 3.47 ERA, 236 innings pitched. He is a number 4 hitting pitcher, so he'll get that card. Now for the current Kings, the 1954 Cleveland Indians. Leading off in left field, Al Smith. Batting second at second base, Bobby Avila. Batting third in center field, Larry Doby. Batting fourth, third baseman Al Rosen. Batting fifth, Vic Wertz. He's at first base. Batting sixth, right fielder Dave Philly. Batting seventh, shortstop George Strickland. Batting eighth, catcher Jim Hagan. Is it Hagan or Hegan? I'm really not sure. I've had some comments in some previous videos. If somebody knows that, please let me know. And on the hill, batting ninth, is pitcher Bob Lemon. In 1954, he was 23-7 with a 2.72 ERA, and he did that in 258 innings. He's a number 3 hitting pitcher, so that's the card he'll get in the lineup. So it's Lopat and Lemon, and we're ready to get going here. So Gene Woodling steps into the box. Here's the pitch from Lemon. And Woodling pops this one up. And shortstop George Strickland is under that, makes the catch, and there's one away here in Cleveland. So 1 out, nobody on. And shortstop Phil Rizzuto. That's a ground ball to Bobby Avila. He tosses over to Vic Wertz for the 4-3 putout, and there's 2 gone. So 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the top of the first. And Yankees catcher Yogi Berra. Here's another one that's going to stay in the infield. It's a high sky pop-up. And Al Rosen over at third base is under that, near the foul line. He makes the catch, and the Yankees go 1-2-3. So with 1/2 inning in the books, it's the Yankees nothing, and the Indians coming to bat. Bob Lemon gets his first fatigue point. So here we are, bottom of the first. Ed Lopat's on the mound for the Yankees. And first up for Cleveland is left fielder Al Smith. Here's the pitch. Here's another towering pop-up in the infield. This time it's Jerry Coleman underneath that. He makes the catch. And there's 1 gone here in the bottom of the first. Here's Indians second baseman Bobby Avila. And he hits a fly ball to left field. Gene Woodling's near the track. Under that, makes the catch. And there are 2 away. 2 outs, nobody on. For center fielder Larry Doby. We are scoreless here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch from Lopat. And it's a ground ball to Jerry Coleman, over to Johnny Mize. And just like the Yankees, the Indians go 1, 2, 3. So after 1 inning of play, we are scoreless. Ed Lopat will get his first fatigue point. Top of the second, leading off for the Yankees will be center fielder Joe DiMaggio. Here's the pitch from Lemon. And DiMaggio sends one down the right field line. He makes the turn at first, but Philly gets the ball back in quickly. So it's a leadoff single for Joe DiMaggio here in the top of the second. So there's a man on first, nobody out for first baseman Johnny Mize. And this is a ground ball to second baseman Bobby Avila, over to George Strickland, who in turn throws to Vic Wertz for the 4-6-3 double play. And there are 2 gone. So Lemon gets a little bit of help from his infield defense. 2 outs, nobody on. And Billy Johnson, third baseman for the Yankees. That's a fly ball to right field. Dave Philly's under that. At the track, makes the catch. And that's it for the Yanks here in the top of the second. So after 1.5, and I got this little fly bothering me, and after 1.5, we remain scoreless. And Bob Lemon will get his second fatigue point. All right, so leading off for the Indians here in the bottom of the second of a scoreless game, it's third baseman Al Rosen. Rosen hits this one up the middle to Joe DiMaggio, and that's a leadoff single. So Rosen's on first. Both teams have had a hit now. And here's first baseman Vic Wertz. Pitch from Lopat. And it is a ground ball to second baseman Jerry Coleman, to the scooter, and then over to Johnny Mize. Yankees take a page from the Indians and record the 4-6-3 double play. So 2 outs, nobody on for the Indians here in the bottom of the second of a scoreless game. And it's right fielder Dave Philly. Lopat delivers. And Philly hits a line shot, but it's right at Phil Rizzuto for out number 3. So 2 innings are complete, and we remain scoreless. Ed Lopat is going to get his second fatigue point. First batter Bob Lemon's going to face here in the top of the third is right fielder Hank Bauer, back in the lineup after a minor injury for a few games. Here's the pitch from Lemon. And this is a leadoff hit out into left field. Bauer makes the turn, but he stays at first. So there's a man on first and nobody out. And Jerry Coleman, the Yankees' second baseman. Here's the pitch from Lemon. This is trouble. And that's another single up the middle. Bauer's going to hold it third. And the Yankees have runners on the corners after back-to-back singles, excuse me. And it's going to bring up pitcher Ed Lopat. Cleveland's going to play the infield back. And Lopat's swinging away. It's a fly ball to center field. Excuse me, Larry Doby's under that, makes the catch. That's going to allow Bauer to tag up. The ball is cut off, so Coleman holds at first base, but the Yankees are on the board on Ed Lopat's sacrifice fly. And it's 1-0, so Lemon gets his third fatigue point. There's a man on first with 1 out. And back to the top of the order for the Yankees, Gene Woodling. Woodling's 0 for 1. Just a pitch from Lemon. And it's another single. Coleman's going to hold up at third, and runners are on the corners again. Excuse me, this time with 1 out. And Yankee shortstop Phil Rizzuto. Infield is still playing normal depth. And that's another base hit for the Yanks. That's going to drive in Coleman, and it's 2-0 in favor of the Yankees. Let's check on Woodling. He's going to hold at second. So Scooter picks up the RBI. It's 2-0. Lemon's at 4 fatigue points. And we got runners on first and second with 1 out in Yogi Berra. Here's the pitch from Lemon. All right, so this is a ground ball to third baseman Al Rosen. And they're going to get Rizzuto going to second on a fielder's choice. Woodling moves to third, and Berra reaches on that fielder's choice. So it's now runners on the corners, but there are 2 outs. The Yankees lead 2-0. Center fielder Joe DiMaggio. Low and outside, ball 4, and that's going to load him up. There's a little bit of movement and activity. And the Indians bullpen, the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Johnny Mize. Let's see what's going on out there. And it looks like Mike Garcia is warming up for the Indians. So bases loaded, 2 outs, and Johnny Mize, who's 0 for 1. He hits a ground ball to first base. Vic Wertz is going to take that unassisted for the 3rd out. But the Yankees do pick up 2 runs on a bunch of singles. And after 2.5, it's the Yankees 2. The Indians nothing. Lemon is at 5 fatigue points now. Ed Lopat, who's at 2, is out here for the bottom of the 3rd. And the first batter he's going to face is George Strickland. Pitch from Lopat. That's a bit high, called ball 4. So leadoff walk for Strickland. He's a D stealer, so he's going to stay home. Jim Hagan, the catcher. I say Hagan because I know some people with that last name, and that's how they pronounce it. But as I mentioned, please let me know if I'm incorrect there. All right, so man on first, nobody out. Here's the pitch to Hagan. And he hits a ball up the middle. Strickland got a good jump on that. So he's going to go to third and hold there. And that's a single for George Strickland. And it's runners on the corners for the Indians with nobody out. They trail 2-0. All right, here's Bob Lemon. He's swinging away. Infield is at normal depth. That's low and outside, and that's going to load them up. So the Indians have bases loaded with nobody out. Now there's a little bit of movement in the Yankees bullpen, and it's Fred Sanford. Not that Fred Sanford. So the bases are loaded for the Indians, nobody out. We're back to the top of the order, and Al Smith. Here's the pitch from Lopat. It's a fly ball to right field, and it's an X check. And Bauer's a 2. We roll a 19, probably going to roll again. Nope, it's a fly ball that sends Bauer back to the track. He makes the catch. But it's going to score Strickland on the sac fly. There's one away. George Strickland scores, the other runners hold, and it's 2-1 in favor of the Yankees. So Lopat gets his third fatigue point. So now it's runners on first and second with one out for Cleveland. And second baseman Bobby Avila, who is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to second base. It's an X check. Jerry Coleman is a 2. Roll a 14. All right, looks like a fielder's choice. So it's going to be fielder's choice for Avila. He reaches first. They get Bob Lemon going to second for the second out, and Hagan moves to third. So now it's runners on the corners for the Indians with 2 outs, and Larry Doby. It's a pitch from Lopat. Way outside. Another walk, and that's going to load him up again. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and third baseman Al Rosen. Indians trail 2-1. Rosen is 1 for 1. Here's the pitch, and this is trouble for Lopat. That's a ground ball into left field. It's another single, and that's going to score 2 runs. So Doby gets to third. Avila's going to score, and so is Hagan. And now it's 3-2 in favor of the Indians. So that's a 2-out, 2 RBI single for Rosen, and Lopat gets fatigue points 4 and 5. And just like that, the Indians have the lead. So now there are runners on the corners with 2 outs. Indians now lead 3-2. And it's Vic Wertz, first baseman. Wertz is 0 for 1, hitting to a double play his last time up. This time he hits a fly ball to center field. Joe DiMaggio's under that, makes the catch, and that's it for the Indians, but not before they score 3 runs. And with 3 innings in the books, it's the Indians 3 and the Yankees 2. Lopat gets fatigue point number 6. Bob Lemon, who's at 5, is out here for the top of the 4th with a 1-run lead. First batter is third baseman Billy Johnson, who is 0 for 1. This time he gets a ball, has eyes, and makes it up the middle. So that's a leadoff single for Johnson here in the top of the 4th. So man out first, nobody out, and Hank Bauer. Bauer singled and scored a run his first time up. This time he hits a ground ball to third base. And that is going to be Rosen to Avila to Wertz for the 5-4-3 double play. That erases Johnson. And there are 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Yankees trail 3-2. 2 outs, nobody on, and second baseman Jerry Coleman, who's 1 for 1 with a run scored. And make him 2 for 2 because he hits another one right up the middle for a 2-out single. Makes the turn at first, but he's going to stay put. And it's Ed Lopat. Lopat drove in a run with a sac fly his last time up. Here's the pitch. This time he hits a ground ball, the second baseman, Bobby Avila, over to Vic Wertz for the third out. And that's it for the Yankees in the top of the fourth. So after 3.5, it's the Indians 3 and the Yankees 2. Bob Lemon will get another fatigue point. That gives him 6. Ed Lopat is at 6 as he comes out for the bottom of the fourth. First batter is going to be Dave Philly, who's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch from Lopat. Way outside. It's a leadoff walk for Philly. So he's on first, nobody out. It's going to bring up second baseman George Strickland. Strickland walked his first time up and scored a run. Lopat delivers. It's a fly ball to right field. And Hank Bauer's under that, makes the catch. Dave Philly is going to hold it first. So he's there at first with 1 out. And Jim Hagan, Indians catcher, who is 1 for 1 with a run scored. Here's the pitch. He lines this one, but unfortunately it's right at Billy Johnson for the second out. They fire over to first base, but Philly gets back in time. So there are 2 away. And Bob Lemon's coming to the plate. 2 outs, man on first. Lopat delivers. It's a ground ball to shortstop. That's Phil Rizzuto. It's an X check. He's a 1. We roll a 3. Nice play by Scooter, and he's going to go the short way. And they're going to get Philly at second base on the 4th, so that would be a 6-4 put out for the third out. And we got 4 innings in the books, and the Indians are leading 3-2. Lopat gets fatigue point number 7. As we go to the top of the 5th, Bob Lemon, who is at 6 right now, he's going to face Gene Woodling. First batter for the Yankees. We're back to the top of the order. Here's the pitch. It's ground ball to third baseman Al Rosen, over to Vic Wertz for the first out. So 1 out here in the top of the 5th. The Yankees trail 3-2. Here's the Scooter. Rizzuto's a 1 for 2. It's a ground ball to his counterpart, George Strickland. He fires over to Vic Wertz. They're 2 away. So 2 outs, nobody on. Yogi Berra. Berra's 0 for 2. He did reach on a fielder's choice his last time up. Here's the pitch from Lemon. That's a 2-out single for Yogi. Hits this one into left field, makes the turn, but he's going to hold there at first. So Yogi Berra is at first with 2 outs, and Joe DiMaggio. DiMaggio is 1 for 2. 1 for 1, excuse me, with a walk. This time he hits one down the right field line that Philly can't get to. He's going to cruise in the second. Let's check Yogi Berra. There are 2 outs. He's a 1-13. That makes him a 1-15. He's getting waved home. Here's the throw from Philly, and he is gunned down. Berra is gunned down on a 9-2 put out to end the inning. My. Nice. Excuse me, that's incorrect. Nice throw by Dave Philly out there. And after 4.5, it's the Indians 3 and the Yankees 2. So Lemon gets fatigue point number 7. Ed Lopat, who is at 7, is out here for the bottom of the 5th. And top of the order for the Indians, here's Al Smith. Smith gets a hold of this one, and it's way high, deep to center field. Back goes Joe DiMaggio. He watches it go over his head. It's way up, out of here, gone. A leadoff home run. And it's now 4-2 in favor of the Indians. And Lopat gets fatigue point number 8. That was a blast. And the crowd here at Cleveland Municipal is going nuts. They got a 2-run lead. Here's shortstop Bobby Avila. There's nobody out. And Avila gets a hold of this one and sends DiMaggio back. He's up. It's off the wall. And Avila's going to cruise into second base with a stand-up double. There's still no one out. The Indians lead 4-2. And Sanford, he's ready to go. Fred Sanford, that is. So it is a man on second, nobody out, and Larry Doby. Here's the pitch. And he strikes him. That's the first strikeout of the game. There's one away here. The bottom of the 5th. First strikeout for Lopat. As I mentioned, first strikeout in the game. So man on second with one out. Now Rosen. Here's the pitch. It's a fly ball to center field. Joe DiMaggio's under that. Avila's going to hold at second as DiMaggio makes the catch for the second out. There's 2 away. Vic Wertz comes to the plate. Wertz is 0 for 2. Avila's on second base. There's 2 outs, and the Indians lead 4-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. And Wertz hits a fly ball to right field. Hank Bauer's under that, makes the catch for the 3rd out. And that's going to do it for the Indians, but they do pick up another run on Al Smith's solo shot. And after 5 innings, it's the Indians 4 and the Yankees 2. Ed Lopat gets fatigue point number 9. All right, Lemon, who is at 7 fatigue points, is out here for the top of the 6th. First batter's Johnny Mize, who's 0 for 2. That's a leadoff single for Mize. Hits that one in the left field. He makes the turn. He's going to hold there at first. So, man on first, nobody out for the Yankees. They trail 4-2. Here's Billy Johnson. It's a ground ball to first base. The only play that Vic Wertz has is to take it unassisted. That's going to allow Mize to move up to second. And there's 1 away, so Mize is on second with 1 out. And right fielder Hank Bauer, who is 1 for 2. Low and inside. And he draws the 1-out walk, so now it's first and second with 1 out for the Yankees. And second baseman Jerry Coleman. Coleman is 2 for 2. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to second base. It's an X-check. Bobby Avila's a 3. We roll a 13. Avila's only play is at first. So they get Coleman on the 4-3 putout for the second out. But that allows Mize and Bauer to move up. So they're on second and third, respectively, with 2 outs. And that's going to be it for Ed Lopat. So Fred Sanford's going to be the next pitcher for the Yankees. And pinch hitting for Ed Lopat here in the top of the 6th is going to be Bobby Brown. Right. So, Brown. Get out of here. Pinch hitting. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Lemon. And this pays off because Brown, well, I didn't even need to roll that. It's going to hit a 2-out single that's going to drive in both runs, and this game is tied. How about that? A 2-out, 2 RBI single by pinch hitter Bobby Brown. And this game is tied at 4. And Bob Lemon gets 2 more fatigue points. That puts him at 9. All right, back to the top of the order for the Yankees. And it's Gene Woodling. Bobby Brown's down there at first base with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And Woodling hits a ground ball to second baseman Bobby Avila over to Vic Wertz for the 3rd out. But the Yankees tie it by picking up 2 runs on Bobby Brown's pinch hit single. And after 5.5, we are tied at 4. Bob Lemon gets fatigue point number 10. And the new pitcher for the Yankees is Fred Sanford. 1950, Sanford was 5-4 with a 4.54 ERA and 113 innings pitched. Get his name written in here. And mark here for him. So the first batter he's going to face is Dave Philly in a tie ball game here in the bottom of the 6th. Tied at 4. Here's the pitch from Sanford. It's a ground ball to first base. It's an X check. Johnny Mize is a 4. He rolls 16. And that one gets by Mize. Rolls into right field. So Philly's going to reach on the E3. So he's on first with nobody out. And George Strickland, Indians shortstop, who is 0 for 2. 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored, excuse me. Here's the pitch. It's a fly ball to center field. And DiMaggio's under that, makes the catch. 1 away. Philly holds it first. Here's catcher Jim Hagan. Here's the pitch. It's a fly ball to center field. DiMaggio's under that at the track, makes the catch. 2 away. And that's going to be it for Bob Lemon. So Mike Garcia will be the pitcher for the Indians in the top of the 7th. But right now, Sam Dente is going to pinch hit for Bob Lemon. So 2 outs, man on first. Here's the pitch from Sanford. Dente hits another fly ball to center field. DiMaggio's been busy out there. Near the track, makes the catch. And that's it for the Indians. So after 6 innings of play, we are tied at 4. And Fred Sanford gets his first fatigue point. And the new pitcher for the Indians is Mike Garcia. In 1954, Garcia was 19-8 with a 2.64 ERA and 259 innings of work. He's going to face Phil Rizzuto first here in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch from Garcia. It's a ground ball to shortstop. And that's going to be George Strickland over to Vic Wertz for the first out. So 1 out here in the top of the 7th. We're tied at 4. It's going to be catcher Yogi Berra, who was gunned down at home plate by Dave Philly in the last inning. Here's the pitch. Or excuse me, that was 2 innings ago. Berra's going to get on base here with a single that rolls into right field. So he's on first with 1 out. And Joe DiMaggio. Tied at 4. Top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to shortstop. It's an X check. Strickland's a 2. We roll a 2. And that one gets by Strickland. It's going to be scored, a base hit. That's going to put runners on first and second for the Yankees with 1 out. And Johnny Mize comes to the plate. Mize is 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. And this is a fly ball to deep right field. Dave Philly goes back, watches it over his head, way up, out of here, gone. A 3-run blast by Johnny Mize. And the Yankees are up 7-4. My. Mike Garcia shaking his head on the mound as they trot around the bases. So Garcia, who I didn't write in here, or here, picks up 3 fatigue points. Just like that. And it's looking like the Indians' reign as Kings of the Hill may be in jeopardy here. There's 1 out, nobody on, because Johnny Mize just cleared the bases. And that's going to bring up Billy Johnson. Got awful quiet here in Cleveland Municipal. Well, he hits a ground ball to second base. And that's going to be Bobby Avila over to Vic Wertz for the 2nd out. Excuse me, so there are 2 away. So 2 outs, nobody on, Hank Bauer. It's the pitch. And that's a 2-out single for Bauer into right field. Makes the turn, but he's going to hold there. 2 outs, man on first, Jerry Coleman. Here's the pitch. And that is a 2-out single, back-to-back 2-out singles. Bauer's going to hold at second, so it's runners on first and second with 2 outs. And pitcher Fred Sanford comes to the plate. He's going to bat. He's a number 3 hitting pitcher, so we'll just flip that card over. We got runners on first and second, 2 outs. Pitcher Fred Sanford's up. Here's the pitch. It's a fly ball to center field. It's an X check. And Doby is a 1. We roll a 4. And Doby makes a nice play out there, a diving catch to stop the bleeding and get the Indians out of this inning. The Yankees pick up 3 on Johnny Mize's blast. And as we go to stretch him, it's now the Yankees 7 and the Indians 4. And Mike Garcia will get his 4th fatigue point, and I'm going to take advantage of the 7th inning stretch to have a little drink here. All right, Fred Sanford coming out here for the bottom of the 7th in a very quiet Cleveland Municipal Stadium, where the Yankees lead 7-4. And we're at the top of the order for the Indians. Here's Al Smith. And that's a leadoff single for Smith. And the Indians haven't given up yet. He's on first, nobody out. Second baseman Bobby Avila. That's a ground ball to third base. And they're going to get Smith forced at second, and Avila's going to reach on the fielder's choice. So there's 1 out, man on first for the Indians, and that brings up Larry Doby. The Indians are trailing 7-4. Here's the pitch to Doby. It's a ground ball to second base. And the only play for Jerry Coleman is over to Johnny Mize at first. That's going to allow Avila to move up to second. But there are 2 away. So Avila's on second base with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Al Rosen comes up to bat for the Indians, playing third base. And the Indians trail 7-4. Here's the pitch. That's a ground ball. The shortstop, Phil Rizzuto, fires over to Johnny Mize, and that's it for the Indians here in the 7th. So after 7 innings, it's the Yankees 7 and the Indians 4. Fred Sanford will get fatigue point number 2. Mike Garcia's back out. And he's going to face the top of the order of the Yankees here in the 8th inning. Gene Woodling. Here's the pitch. It's a leadoff single for Woodling. He's on first, nobody out. Shortstop Phil Rizzuto. Rizzuto is 1 for 4. And Rizzuto hits this one down the right field line. Excuse me, the left field line. And Al Smith gets to it, but not before Rizzuto slides into second with a double. Woodling's going to hold at third, so they got runners on second and third with nobody out. And Yogi Berra's coming to the plate, and the Indians are bringing the infield in. Here's the pitch. It's a fly ball to center field. And Larry Doby's under that, makes the catch, but that's going to allow Woodling to tag up and score. And Rizzuto holds at second, so it's now 8-4. And Garcia gets his 5th fatigue point. So there's a man on second with 1 out, Joe DiMaggio. It's a ground ball to third base. The only play is over to Vic Wertz at first for the 2nd out. That allows Rizzuto to move over to third. There's a runner on third with 2 outs. Yankees lead 8-4. And here's Johnny Mize, who did all the damage last inning. And he's not finished, because he hits one right up the middle, and that's going to score Rizzuto, and it's now 9-4. As Mize makes the turn and holds at first base and picks up his 4th RBI of the game. Garcia's at 6, and there's some more activity in the Indians bullpen. And it's going to be Don Mossy warming up. There are 2 outs. And got a man on first. And third baseman Billy Johnson. Lookout. Another base hit for the Yankees. Mize is going to hold at second. It's first and second with 2 outs. Hank Bauer. Bauer's 2 for 4. Here's the pitch. It's a high, deep fly ball to left field. But Al Smith's under that on the track, makes the catch. And that's it for the Yankees, but not before they pick up 2 more. And it's now 9-4 in favor of the Yankees as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Mike Garcia gets fatigue point number 7. So he's going to have to come out of the game. Don Mossy is ready to go for the Indians in the top of the 9th. But first, Fred Sanford has to face Vic Wertz here in the bottom of the 8th. The Yankees lead 9-4. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, and that's a leadoff walk to Wertz. So Wertz is on first, nobody out. Dave Philly. To pitch to Philly. It's a ground ball back to Sanford. He turns and fires to shortstop Phil Rizzuto. They're going to get Wirtz on the force play. They throw over to first, but it's not in time, so Philly reaches on a fielder's choice, but there is one out now. So the Phillies on first with one out. And George Strickland. Here's the pitch to Strickland. Way outside. And that's a walk. So Philly moves up to second. Indians have runners on first and second with one out. They trail 9-4. It's catcher Jim Hagan. He pops this one up to third base. Billy Johnson's under that, right at the bag, makes the catch. They're 2 away. And that's it for Mike Garcia. He is not going to bat here. Don Mossy will be the pitcher for the Indians in the top of the ninth. Hal Narragon is going to pinch hit for Garcia. So we got runners on first and second with 2 outs. Indians trail 9-4. Here's the pitch to Narragon. It's a fly ball to center field. Joe DiMaggio's under that, makes the catch, and that's it for the Indians. So with 8 innings in the books, it's the Yankees 9 and the Indians 4. And Fred Sanford will get fatigue point number 3. As mentioned, Mike Garcia's day is done. New pitcher for the Indians is going to be Don Mossy. 1954, Mossy was 6-1 with a 1.94 ERA in 93 innings pitched. And first batter he's going to face is Jerry Coleman. Well, let me get this marked off. We got Mossy. All right. It's a fly ball to left field. Al Smith's under that, makes the catch. 1 away. It's 1 out, nobody on. And Fred Sanford's going to bat again. Well, what did Sanford do last time he was up? He flew out to center field. Here's the pitch. This time he hits a ground ball to first base. Vic Wertz will take that one unassisted. And there are 2 away here in the top of the ninth. So 2 outs, nobody on. Back to the top of the order. And left fielder Gene Woodling. Here's the pitch. Low. And that's a 2-out walk to Woodling. So he trots down to first. Here's Phil Rizzuto. Scooter is 2 for 5. Here's the pitch. And he strikes out. Haven't been many strikeouts in this game. There's one for Mossy here in the top of the ninth for the 3rd out. So after 8.5, the Yankees lead 9-4. And Mossy will get his first fatigue point. Fred Sanford's going to stay out there to finish this one out. If possible, he's at 3 on the fatigue points. So he's got a little bit of stamina left. And the first batter he's going to face, top of the order, is Al Smith. Here's the pitch. Oh boy. It's a ground ball to short. That's Rizzuto over to Mize for the 1st out. And Smith is coming up a little bit limp here. Trainer comes out to the field. And it looks like Smith is going to be okay. He'll be able to stay in the game if this game is prolonged. But, so luckily he wasn't injured severely. So 1 out, nobody on. This is it for the Indians. They trail 9-4. It's the pitch to Avila. It's a fly ball to left field. Gene Woodling's under that. Makes the catch. And the Indians are down to their last out. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's Larry Doby. Fred Sanford delivers. And it's a deep fly ball to right field. That sends Hank Bauer back to the track, to the wall, and he makes the catch. And that is it. And the 9-3 Indians become the 9-4 Indians. The Yankees send them a tumbling. We don't have a team in the finals yet. The Yankees become the new Kings of the Hill by winning this game 9-4. So let's get some totals. Yankees had 9 runs on. Count them, 20 hits and 1 error. The Indians had 4 runs on. Five hits. They did not commit any errors. The winning pitcher is Ed Lopat. Or no, I'm sorry. The winning pitcher is Fred Sanford. And the loss goes to Bob Lemon. Or wait a minute, excuse me, that is not true. The loss goes to Mike Garcia. All right, so with that being it for the Indians, they'll drop to the bottom of the hill. And even though they have 9 wins, it's going to be a while until they play again. The Yankees will now take on the 1957 Braves in Game 45. That will be at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. But that's going to do it for this episode. If you hung out with me tonight, I appreciate it. And I'll be back again in the near future with another video. And until then, take care.